Republican candidates. They're all in New York today ahead of the New York primary just 5 days from now. And they will also all be attending the GOP gala tonight in Manhattan. You might see a lot of smiles through gritted teeth. Why? Well, a super PAC backing Governor Kasich releasing an ad today in Pennsylvania saying, quote, even though Ted Cruz and Donald Trump have been calling on the governor to quit, they should know better than to mess with a guy from Pittsburgh. Kasich doubling down with these comments earlier in Jericho, Long Island.
Not only are we winning in the polls against Hillary when nobody else does, but there was also an independent process put together on the Electoral College, and that was very interesting because Cruz and Trump got smashed, and then I beat Hillary decisively.
Senator Cruz's campaign national spokesperson Ron Nehring is here. I am guessing you will say Kasich is 100% wrong?
Well, John Kasich has no pathway to become the Republican nominee whatsoever. And it's really interesting that Kasich keeps on saying that he's the most electable candidate, and he loses in state after state after state. I think he's lost, over 30 times now. So clearly, as we go forward, we can either have Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, who then goes on to lose to Hillary Clinton, or we can have Senator Cruz with his positive, optimistic, reform-oriented message, continuing to focus on jobs and the economy and reigniting this economy in the wake of the disaster that we've had coming out of the Obama administration in terms of high taxes, regulation, and Obamacare. Really, that's what our choice is going forward. And John Kasich can continue to say whatever he's going to say, but he's not going to be the Republican nominee for president.
Tell me why your candidate campaigned in California when we have the New York primary so soon, just on next Tuesday. Look, I know he's trending third behind Kasich and Donald Trump, but that could possibly change. And in this election this time around, Ron, anything could change.
Yeah, well, this is a long ball game. It's a 9-inning game. We're about at the bottom of the fifth. And we know that at the end of this process, we have California, New Jersey, New Mexico, Montana voting at the end of the process. And those states are all very, very important. One of the things that we've learned is that when Senator Cruz goes in and organizes early, which has been a key part of our campaign, the response has been tremendous. We had sold-out crowds in Irvine and in San Diego, California. And those events both sold out within hours of them even going online. And that goes to show the tremendous amount of energy which we have in California, which of course will send the biggest delegation to the national convention. And the senator's message is really resonating in California and out west and elsewhere in the country too.
Let's get to this delegate alchemy. I mean, you've got test tubes and beakers on behalf of everybody, but Donald Trump has made a lot of what I like to call unforced errors in this type of situation because he's missed deadlines, particularly in Virginia, which we talked about yesterday, where Donald Trump had won Virginia, but he missed the deadline to assemble delegates that could possibly switch. Ted Cruz has played this game very, very well and by the rules. I mean, we here at Fox Business check these things. So it looks like at the moment it's still within the rules to go and try and convince delegates to perhaps switch when they do get that chance. But how is the Cruz campaign doing this? I'm not asking you to reveal state secrets, but do you have people on every ground, terra firma, of all of the campaigns, the primaries that are coming up, from Connecticut to Delaware to Maryland to Pennsylvania and beyond?
Well, look, we've said from the very beginning that we'll organize a campaign that spans across 50 states, 5 territories, and the District of Columbia. That's an advantage of our campaign, and it reflects a philosophy that we're going to run a campaign across the entire country, both for the primary as well as for the general election. Donald Trump, by contrast, I think he has a really hard time proving that he can defeat ISIS when he can't even organize a convention. Look, he cancels on events. He canceled on a press conference in California. He kind of started to organize a rally in Fresno, abandoned that effort, canceled on the Colorado Republican Party convention, and then whined about, the result. This just shows that this is a candidate who, when he's under pressure, doesn't know what to do, can't organize a campaign properly, and is not prepared to be commander-in-chief. At the same time, we've been free of those distractions, and we've focused on Senator Cruz's message on economic reform, lowering taxes. This is tax week this week. Everyone's minds are on taxes, and Senator Cruz is a very strong... I know, but he has a strong flat tax proposal to bring some relief to you and every other American out there.
Sorry, I need to jump in here because we've just got a little bit of time left here. But last night during the town hall on CNN, Cruz said he's now in the process of picking a number 2. So we have heard everybody's names from Scott Walker to Carly Fiorina to Nikki Haley of South Carolina to maybe even Governor Kasich floated here. What's he looking for in a number 2 to be his vice president?
Well, I think Senator Cruz will take a very deliberate approach to this process. Of course, this is very, very important, and less so for the election than it is in terms of gogoverning the country going forward.
Would he go with any of those names? Are they on the table?
Well,
is he considering them?
I can't raise the curtain on any of that, and candidly haven't discussed that with him. But this is a very important question, which, our campaign has shown that we're focused not only on today, but we're anticipating the events coming up. Certainly everything that will happen at the convention, from platform to a vice presidential nominee to preparing for the general election to working with the Republican National Committee going forward, all of that has to be discussed by a well-organized campaign.
Ron Nehring, great to see you. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Ron is the Senator Ted Cruz National Campaign Spokesperson for President.